Did you walk out of the gun shop feeling abandoned and confused? Don't let a bad first experience foreshadow your entire firearms owning journey. This video is here to help you. I'm going to go over some of what I've ascertained or what I've learned from new customers, as well as some internet searches about complaints or issues that people have had, especially in their first experience. Now, I do own a small firearm shop, and this is just designed to help you understand some of the things you may have experienced. So take a second, go ahead, like the video, jump down in the comments, and share, please share with me some of this or something else that had a negative outcome with your first or maybe your last purchase. A rude sales staff, or one that's kind of dismissive, okay? And we're going to go ahead and cross these off just like so. So unfortunately, you've come into a firearms establishment and it is painfully obvious to everybody in the room that this is your first purchase or maybe your second purchase. That's perfectly fine. We all started somewhere. Don't feel any kind of way. But maybe you had that rude sales staff, and maybe when you explain to them you're trying to make your first purchase, they got dismissive because in your eyes, maybe you felt as if you weren't a sale. Okay. First off, I apologize about this. I actually do enjoy interacting with my first-time buyers to learn different market trends and what different people are looking for. Okay, upselling and biased advice. This is very difficult. You come in and you want an XYZ. You have your price range. You've done your research. I applaud you. If you're doing your research and you have made a decision, you've talked to friends, maybe had a chance to shoot a friend's handgun. Unfortunately, you get that salesman that maybe is in a big box store making 18 bucks an hour, but he's trying to impress his boss and he's now going to upsell you. Or he's going to tell you that just what he likes is the only thing to like. Unfortunately, this does happen. I want you to remember something, and this is going to be key in a lot of these bullet points up here. You, the buyer, on that side of the counter, not on this side of the counter, you hold the power in this exchange. Use it to your advantage. If you don't like what's going on with the salesperson, rude, dismissive, or biased and upselling, move to another salesperson, or unfortunately, I hate to say this, leave the establishment. Lack of guidance, and I have an asterisk by this one. This one is you've decided on your firearm, and you're talking to the sales associate or the salesman or the shop owner, and unfortunately, sometimes there will be a lack of guidance because the deed is done, so to speak. But now you're inquiring about training, about where you can go shoot, things you need for the range. Please ask these questions. If you're not getting satisfactory answers from one person, talk to another sales associate. As a matter of fact, go to abirdfreedomsupport.com. I will put it in the description for this video. And please, by all means, send me an email. Go to my shop website. Contact us. Send me an email. You don't have to send me your name, address, phone number. None of that. I am not trying to get information to put you on a mailing list. Explain to me some of your questions. I will try the best I can to help you. Okay. Safety concerns, primarily firearms handling procedures in the shop or the store that you're in, is making you uncomfortable. Maybe another customer is handling a firearm willy-nilly and muzzling you, so on and so forth. What I like to do is find a spot on the wall where there's nobody else and not a lot of high traffic, people moving back and forth, so that you can keep that muzzle downrange yourself so that you don't feel as if you're making somebody else uncomfortable. That, in fact, will help alleviate some of that. Also, don't instantaneously jump on that person. They might be in your same boat, and they might also be new. Although a lot of times new firearms owners are more reserved with what they're doing because they're not 100% aware of what's going on, and you can be a little bit intimidated, and that's fine. We are here on this side of the counter to help you. Please, by all means, say so. And a big one, lack of accessory training. And I do not mean back to upselling. You're in charge of this transaction. I mean literally you're asking about, or there's a lack of guidance offered from this side of the counter to you, unfortunately, on eye and ear protection, maybe a range bag, things of this nature that you are going to need to have a very successful first safe trip to the range. So that is going to be lack of accessory training, not about what flashlight or optic to put on your firearm. If you've experienced these, I apologize. Your biggest takeaway, please take this away from this, is that you hold the power in this transaction. Do not feel that this is out of control. You can stop it at any time that you wish to, either by saying no thank you and leaving, or actually being, hey, if you're a female, especially if you're a woman, first time gun buyer, or a new gun buyer, ask for a female sales associate if one is available. If not, please, with myself especially, register your concerns with me in the very beginning so we can address them. If we don't know, we can't, and we will just do whatever we normally do. Not an excuse, just facts. And a little bonus for my first time 4473 people, otherwise known as the NICS background check form. I have another video about this that will give you some guidance on that. I am going to give you the Cliff Note version. I will put the link in the description for that video as well. By all means, you can subscribe to the channel, or you can just go to that link. Just like the video. Put in, if you've experienced these, maybe some ways that you've learned to deal with that would be great as well. 4473 help. 3 things to remember. First and foremost, do not be in a rush to fill this out. If you do it clearly, concisely, and accurately the first time, you won't have to do it again. I do not do it on a tablet, so I cannot give any guidance on that. Things to be aware of. Make sure that the firearm that you are actually purchasing, physically take it. Lock the slide to the rear if need be. Read the serial number and make sure that that in fact is the serial number on the form. Everybody's human, mistakes do happen. Make sure that the firearm you're doing the background check and purchasing is actually the one you're leaving with. And when I talk about being in a rush, slow down. Some people will make this mistake. County, parish, and borough. And they write United States. They're in a hurry. It's okay. Take your time at the bottom. Beyond that, read every question completely and fully. If you do not understand, do not mark a box. Ask the sales representative for help understanding the question. We can do that. We just can't give you answers. And finally, for certification date, on the back of the first page, box number 23, after you have signed your signature, and box 22 for your certification signature, attesting to everything you have supplied is true and correct. That is the date that you actually filled the form out. That is not your birthday. That happens quite a bit. Hopefully, this little rundown and the fact that maybe you've had a bad experience, there are shop owners out there like myself, there's lots of us, that we are concerned about your first experience being so well that you come back and have a second experience. There it is in a nutshell. I'm not worried about selling you a $1,000 pistol if you only want a $500 pistol. You want your $500 pistol because that's what you want. Remember that. It's important. You have the cards in this transaction. With all that being said, I'm Art with A-Bird Freedom Support, and hopefully this can kind of give a little bit of insight into some of these things so that maybe you haven't made your first purchase yet, but you have an idea what to look for and how to get away from it or how to steer away from it. And with that being said, everybody like, comment, subscribe. Hopefully this helps at least one person. If you have a friend getting ready to make that first purchase and you see this, by all means share this over with them so they can know some of the things that are being reported as the woes of first-time gun purchasers so that they can keep themselves out of that situation, have a great experience, and a long and safe firearms ownership journey. Thank you for watching. Be safe.